Hi there, Grant McComey here with this week's edition of Travel Oregon's Grant's Getaways. Well, this week we're on the mighty Columbia River and we're headed for a silver rush, a silvery rush of salmon that are heading up the Columbia River into countless tributaries. We're going to center our attention at Buoy 10, famous as a salmon catching site. We're going to show you the tactics and techniques and offer some boating safety tips as well. It's an adventure you don't want to miss.
It's hard to call this morning as shimmering stars and a sliver of a moon hold on to the night.
There's a big old bull right there.
But barking sea lions and an inch of daylight squeezing above eastern horizon say otherwise. We motor across the broad-shouldered Columbia River and follow a guide's promise of good fishing.
Well, we're going to start down by the bridge in front of Young's Bay and try to maybe catch a Chinook. And then we're going to go on out and catch some coho out by the buoy.
A typical daybreak, says John Krothofer, our fishing leader who has guided his boat across these waters since a teen. But all too soon, we face a problem.
Fog's coming in.
Daylight reveals a white wall that's taken over the lower river. If we wish to pass through, we better be prepared.
My GPS tells me that there's a green buoy right there. And if you look in the fog, we're just coming up on it. So
Barely see it.
you can barely see it until you're right on top of it.
But for the boaters that are out here that don't have that electronic device,
stay on the dock until it clears. You're much safer. It's not worth a fish. It really isn't.
All too quickly, John's second sense tells him something's wrong. We waste no time to move off our trolling line.
He's going to be in some real shallow water real quick.
The 200-foot-long ship wasn't supposed to be in such shallow water, but there she is, and here we are, safe.
See how close he is to the edge?
Just in time, according to fishing partner Trey Carscadden.
You just get absolutely turned around in this kind of a fog. So GPS certainly compass, but again, you need to know how to use it. You know, that's essential equipment. I wouldn't come out here without it myself.
Carscadden chairs the Oregon State Marine Board, and he is a boating safety expert when it comes to the fickle Columbia River. He says even in summer, conditions change in a heartbeat.
Right now, you know, the danger is in the fog, but when the wind comes up, when you have a lot of traffic out here, there's just a lot of things that can go wrong out here. A lot of folks just assume that it's just like a lake out here, and it's not.
That much is certain, but so is this. The river is full of fish.
Oh, big coho.
That is a nice one.
Wow, that's what we're after. You just missed one a minute ago. You made up for it. You redeemed yourself.
Oh,
That's
I
a
love
beauty.
doing that.
That's a nice hatchery fish.
That's a nice fat one.
That's a nice one.
You can tell it's a hatchery coho because the adipose fin, a small half-moon-shaped fin located behind the dorsal fin, is missing. It was clipped off at the hatchery when the fish was a baby.
I think it's barbecue time at the
Yeah,
Scaddens.
yeah,
Yep.
it
What a
really
beauty.
is. That's fun. It's the first one I got to reel in this season.
It's been a remarkable season for both the ocean and now the Columbia estuary.
Yep, we want to tag them upon catching them.
More than 1 million coho salmon are forecast to pass through here.
We got another coho or? Yeah. I think it's another hatchery fish. And it is. Another one.
Right now, the limit is 2 salmon a day, but on September 1st, the limit rises to 3 coho a day. John likes to use plug-cut herring for bait on a diver flasher rig that's put out 30 feet behind the boat.
Oh, nice one. Beauty. Right in the net.
Not all coho are hatchery. This one is a wild fish that must go back. Here's the right way to do that.
It's nice to be able to release them without netting them, but when they're like this, you can't ID them.
John doesn't bring the wild fish in the boat, and he holds it until it swims out of his hand.
You do not want to ever bring them in the boat. Never. And don't lift them even out of the water if you can help it. Try to just get them unhooked and just don't dump them out of your net. Try to get a hold of them by the tail and let them swim out of your hand. If you just dump them out of the net, a lot of times they're belly up. You know, they're so tired from the fight. So you want to let him rest a minute in your hand and then just open your hand up and he'll swim right off.
As the fog disappears, the sun takes over and the flood tide builds. Anglers on the bar at famous marker Buoy 10 are catching fish fast. Boat wakes, a strong current, and a stiff wind mean it's like fishing in a washing machine, and you want to stay out of the spin cycle.
Yeah, people get what I call salmonitis. They'll get a fish on and they lose total track of what's going on around them. And you need to really be aware of where your boat's at, because don't assume that the other guy's going to steer out of your way. There's a fish, front rod. What do you got there, Mr. McComie?
Something really big with fins on it, John.
Is it? Is it a king or just a big old wild coho? It's another king. Isn't that a beauty? That's a fin clip, another. That is a beautiful fish. Isn't that something? Look at the sun on that.
That's awesome.
As the flood tide rises, the fish come easy. It's been a day that began on a dance with danger. It'll provide lasting memories of exciting times and valuable lessons learned in the Oregon outdoors.
If you like, consider making a Buoy 10 salmon fishing adventure part of your entry in a unique travel contest. It's called the Oregon 150 Challenge, and it offers a dream vacation to the grand prize winner somewhere in the state of Oregon. You can check out the details on the Travel Oregon website. Finally, this salmon fishing continues for several more weeks, really several months, as these fish migrate up the Columbia into the tributaries. It's an adventure you want to be sure and check out. On the Columbia River, I'm Grant McComie for Travel Oregon.